a super easy $200 checking account bonus, an annual fee waived on an American Airlines card, and be careful if you travel to Bali, because if you end up hooking up with someone, you could go to jail. We've got that and a lot more on this episode of the Weekly Pointers News Update. This is going to be an interesting show, to say the least. We're going to cover a lot of different topics today relating to credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and everything in between. I'm Brandon Boyd with The Brandon Boyd Show, and I put out this Weekly Pointers News Update every Sunday evening just to catch you up on all the topics that I just mentioned. A lot of stuff to talk about in this episode. If you do find it helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and if you're interested in any credit cards mentioned in today's video, or any credit card for that matter, make sure you apply using the referral link down in the description below. When you apply through that referral link, that greatly helps support the channel, and I really appreciate all of you in doing that so far. It's super easy to follow along. On one side of the screen, you'll see a list of the topics along with a timer down below. There are timestamps down in the description below if you want to click ahead or click around to any stories that you're interested in. It's pretty easy to follow. It doesn't get any easier than that. We've got a lot to cover, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Chartway Federal Credit Union is offering an easy way for you to pick up $200. Now, first off, this is a nationwide offer, and you can earn $200 by opening a new checking account with Chartway. Just go to the Chartway website and use promo code HOLIDAY22. Before receiving this $200 bonus, Chartway must receive direct deposits totaling $500 or more within 60 calendar days of the account opening, and you only have to maintain an average daily balance of $1,000 for the first 60 days of the account and make 10 debit card purchases of $10 or more within 60 days of opening the account. The deadline for applying for this is December 31st, and this bonus is really easy to pick up because it doesn't require you to transfer a ton of money over to it. You don't have to change your entire banking setup to collect this. And that $200, what could it be good for? Well, we use those to offset annual fees for other cards. So use checking account bonuses as a way to pay for your annual fees, and it's a win-win for everybody. This one is super easy to do. I highly recommend checking it out. The Advantage Aviator Red World Elite MasterCard has a welcome bonus of 60,000 Advantage miles after you're making your first purchase within 90 days of account opening. Now, that's not the most exciting part. This new offer is waiving the $99 annual fee. Now, you'll see a similar offer for miles on this card all throughout the year by making one purchase, but what you aren't going to see is that annual fee being waived. So if you've had your eye on this card, now is definitely the time to pick it up. Now, are you going to be blown away by the benefits and perks of this card? No, not really, but it does offer that sign-up bonus along with 2 times miles for American Airlines purchases. You'll get preferred boarding for you and up to 4 companions on a domestic itinerary, and you'll get your first checked bag free for you and up to 4 companions on that domestic itinerary as well. So it does have some benefits, but nothing overwhelming. But hey, if you're over 524 or you just don't care about it, this may be a great card to pick up, and while the annual fee is waived, go ahead and collect those American Airlines miles. It couldn't be any easier to do it. British Airways has just announced their Reward Flight Saver program. This new Reward Flight Saver option for long-haul premium cabin travel lets you pay more miles for substantially reduced surcharges, as long as you've earned at least 1 Avios in the last 12 months. Now, this is a big deal because we run into this pretty frequently as we're starting to book more international travel. You will see these surcharges pop up, and it can really dampen the excitement of using your points to pay for a flight, because you could use your points to pay, but then you're going to be hit with these surcharges. Now, by paying a few more points, you'll be able to offset those a little bit. And let me just show a quick example. This is from the website View from the Wing, which I go to pretty frequently. In this example, in a flight from New York to London in long-haul premium cabin travel, the original cost was 100,000 Avios plus a $1,400 surcharge. Now you'll be able to use more Avios, in this case 160,000 Avios, to bring down that surcharge to only $700. So this is great if you're really points heavy and want to focus on using points versus using money out of your checking account or bank account. This is a pretty big deal and will allow you to bring down those surcharges. Now, yeah, I know you have to pay more points, but at the end of the day, if you want to eliminate the actual amount of cash that you're using, this is a great option. I'm excited that they're doing this. Is this going to impact your travel decisions moving forward? I can tell you it will impact ours because those surcharges just absolutely stink. But let me know what you think about this new change. Is it going to help you? Let me know. Okay, another update on Real ID. For those of you that have been to the airport, you've seen the deadlines looming on signs all over the airport that tell you that you need to have your Real ID ready by next year, 2023. And just like clockwork, there's another delay in the implementation of this. The Department of Homeland Security announced that full enforcement of the Real ID initiative will now not go into effect until May 7th of 2025. For those of you that don't know what Real ID is, it's pretty simple. It's just a way to standardize forms of identification used to do things like board flights. And it's just been delayed and delayed and delayed, and now it's being delayed again. The Department of Homeland Security is blaming this on COVID, which is creating backlogs and getting this implemented. And just like everything else, if you need an excuse for anything, just blame COVID. Hey, you didn't turn your homework in on time. Oh, COVID. Hey, Brandon, why didn't you show up to my bachelor party? We were expecting you. Oh, COVID. Like I said, you can use that excuse for anything, but at the end of the day, they have delayed this thing so many times, it's almost comical at this point. So when we go to the airport the next time and we see the updated timeline that says, hey, get your Real ID by 2025, am I honestly supposed to take that seriously? I don't think so. Now, T-Mobile is known for offering really good deals to current customers, and in this case, they are offering a very good deal for home Wi-Fi using their 5G technology. Right now, if you are a T-Mobile customer and you have at least one voice line available, you can get the company's 5G home internet service for $25 per month. This is a pretty big deal for T-Mobile customers because previously, T-Mobile had bundled service where you could get this low-cost 5G internet at home. However, it was tied to their upper tier plans. Now, all you have to do is be a T-Mobile customer and have one phone account, and that's it. That's pretty simple. Now, there's no cost if it doesn't end up working out for you. If for some reason the Wi-Fi is not good, you can simply cancel and get your money back. I'm just bringing this up even if you're not a T-Mobile customer. If you know somebody that is on T-Mobile and they're looking for a low-cost solution, this may be something worth exploring, and it may open up the doors for more people to get high-speed internet. I'm gonna read these quotes. Let me know what you think about this. If somebody had told me that we had hit an iceberg, I would have believed them. Beds were being shoved up against the door so that they were not able to get out of their rooms. The windows came crashing in and there was this wall of seawater that came in. Yikes, that sounds really scary. And this happened very recently on a Viking cruise near Antarctica. The incident that I'm talking about involved a rogue wave that hit the Viking Polaris cruise ship around 10:40 p.m. while the ship was sailing through the Drake Passage. If you're not familiar with the Drake Passage, it's located between the southern tip of South America and Antarctica, and these waters are rough. I've heard a lot of stories about these. You need to brace yourself and be ready for it. A rogue wave came along and hit the cruise ship, injuring 4 people, and 1 person died from shards of glass that had broken, and they unfortunately passed away. What's really interesting about this is that this incident occurred the day after another incident with a ship that really none of the news stories are talking about, but I found it to be very interesting as part of this whole story. The day before this happened, another set of passengers was on a Zodiac boat excursion. All of a sudden they heard a loud boom and one of the passengers flew up into the air, came down and hit the Zodiac and ended up injuring their leg very badly to the point to where that particular passenger was going to require surgery on their leg. And this led to the ship's captain turning back to Argentina. And while they were on their way back to Argentina, that's actually when the rogue wave struck this cruise ship. So if that incident had not happened the day before, they wouldn't be on their way back to Argentina in the waters to get hit by that rogue wave. Now, there's no way for them to possibly know that, but it is just really strange that this occurred. What I'm curious about from you is, if you've been on a cruise ship before, have you ever been in one of these situations? I doubt it's been a rogue wave situation because it's so infrequent, but have you ever been in a situation or any particular waters that have made you uncomfortable on a cruise ship? I've seen videos and pictures, but I want to hear your personal experience. Have you been a part of any of this? Have any friends or family been a part of anything that was really scary on a cruise ship? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, this next story is more of a situational story that occurred on a flight within the last week, and I want to know who you think is to blame for the issues that came up during this flight. A man boarded a flight recently. He's 5'10", he gets a window seat. It's a 90-minute flight from one city in Europe to another. Another man boards the flight that is 6'8" and sits in the middle seat behind the first man that I mentioned. The man that's 5'10" wanted to recline in his seat. However, the man that was 6'8" wasn't able to allow him to do that because his knees were digging into the seat, thus making it impossible for the man in front to lean his seat back. This led to a verbal argument between the two, and we're trying to figure out who's at fault in this particular case. Now, for $21 extra, the man that's 6'8" could have upgraded to a seat that allowed for more legroom. But should he have to pay that just because he's 6'8"? Do you think the airline should have come along in this case, maybe one of the flight attendants, and said, hey, I see there's an issue here, can we get you a seat with more legroom, and just upgraded him for nothing? I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this. Was the man that was 5'10" that was trying to lean back at fault here for arguing with the taller man? Hey, it's not the taller man's fault, right? Or was the taller man at fault here because he should have gotten an aisle seat to accommodate for his longer legs, or should he have been required to pay the upgrade fee to get a seat with more legroom? Or is the airline at fault for cramming people in these tiny seats now? I'm curious about this because we hear stories about this all the time. You hear stories about people that are maybe overweight, for example, that are taking up more than one seat, having to pay an extra cost. There's a lot that goes into this, a lot to think about, but I want to know who you think is to blame here. Is it the recliner? Is it the 6'8" man? Is it the airline? Or is it all of them? Let me know your thoughts. Hey, if you're interested in traveling to Bali to have a wild time and possibly hook up with someone while you're there, well, be very careful because it could possibly land you in prison. That's right, a new law in Bali is putting a ban on sex outside of marriage. Now let me explain how this works. In order to be charged with this crime, someone has to complain about this, and the complaint has to come from a family member. So let me give you an example of what this means. Let's say you plan on traveling to Bali and you meet someone at the bar. Maybe it's a nice young lady at the bar, but she happens to be married to someone locally in Bali. Maybe you don't know that. Well, if the husband finds out that that's occurred, he can complain to the police and you could be charged with a crime. That crime is punishable by up to a year in prison and a $955 fine. The tourism department of Bali is saying this should not impact tourists that much. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but fact of the matter is, it could. If you get charged with a crime, you're going to jail probably, all right? And just remember, whenever you travel, you have to follow the laws of that particular country. So you can certainly disagree with this law, but just know when you're traveling to that country, you're abiding by their laws. So I just thought this was a really interesting story. Let me know what you think about this. Is this something that would keep you from traveling to Bali? Maybe you're gonna go there and have a wild time. I have no idea. And what do you think about other countries possibly implementing a law like this? Now, a local professor in Bali did state that provided no such complaints are made to Indonesian police, then tourists shouldn't worry, and not just anyone can make a complaint. While that's true, the scenario that I just laid out is one that could certainly occur, so make sure you're safe whenever you travel out there, and don't be getting too frisky in Bali. It could cost you a year in jail. And if you're familiar with the Weekly Pointers news update, you know I like to end the show on a very good food deal, and this week is no exception. This week, we are going to Dunkin' Donuts. Now, Dunkin' Donuts is offering Dunkin' Rewards members a free medium iced coffee with the promo code WALLOWSX-DUNKIN. That's WALLOWSX Dunkin, D-U-N-K-I-N. Once you sign up for the rewards, make sure you enter that promo code and you'll see this in the offer section of the app. So hey, free iced coffee, why not? It's freezing cold outside, so I probably won't be grabbing an iced coffee, but if you need your caffeine fix, here you go. All right, this was a very fun episode. We covered a lot of different topics today. We talked about an easy checking account bonus, a new sign-up bonus, Real ID is making yet another change, and there were some very interesting travel stories. That's what we do on the show on these Weekly Pointers news updates. We try to update you on everything in between that you may have missed throughout the week, because fact of the matter is, you're probably busy. My job is to do all the research and homework for you. That way you can just catch up once a week and do it all here. Let me know what your favorite story was down in the comments, and if you have any tips, tricks, or pointers that you want to share with other people, we do have a lot of new people watching the channel that are into points and miles that could probably benefit from that. So make sure you share your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video, or any card for that matter, make sure you apply using the referral link down in the description below. When you apply using that referral link, it greatly helps support the channel, and I can't thank you all enough for doing that so far. If you found this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and when you click on the Brandon Boyd Show, click, you're gonna get the latest information on credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, free Dunkin' Donuts, and everything in between, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll see you soon.